Hi, my name is Ann Gorley. I have a little yoga studio called Breathe Beautifully Yoga in Albany, Oregon, and I'd like to share with you a short chair yoga class today. Hopefully it won't be too strenuous or it won't be too mild, it'll be just right. If anything does feel strenuous, just stop, always come back to the breath. And if anything feels like it's a little too mild, go ahead and explore the pose. Kind of think about maybe something that would enhance the movement you're doing. And I'll also offer suggestions. I do want to say that before beginning any exercise practice or fitness practice, it's always important to check with your physician to make sure that it is appropriate for what your body is feeling, needing, and going through. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to start any place that's comfortable for you, whether it be the palms of the hands down or the tops of the hands down or the arms just at the side. And the eyes can be gently focused forward, or you can have your eyes closed. So whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to just start by coming to the breath. Just by noticing how you're feeling, just thinking about the in-breath and the out-breath. Maybe trying to kind of gauge that, bringing the palms of the hands to the thighs, and on the in-breath, just lifting the hands, and on the out-breath, just gently letting the hands come back to the thighs. So just trying this for a few breaths. Noticing the in-breath, noticing the out-breath, and just noticing maybe the breath is a little longer on the out-breath. Maybe you'd feel comfortable making that a little longer, be able to maybe bring about a little calming to the body. So we'll go ahead, bring the hands back to the thighs or to the side. And we'll go ahead, we'll begin doing a scan of the body, just noticing how you're feeling, noticing any areas that you might want to build some strength or find a little bit more length, or noticing places that you just don't think about often. Who thinks about the back of their knees or maybe the sides of the neck? It's just kind of fun to have some awareness of those places in our body. And as we go through our practice, we'll think about actually noticing those places within our practice. So we'll go ahead, and again, you can just start with the hands to the side, on the lap. You can start with a gentle gaze, or just with the eyes closed, wherever it feels most safe and most comfortable for you. So we'll go ahead, and we'll just begin scanning. Taking a nice breath in through the sinuses, breathing up behind the eyes, landing at the forehead, and just softening the breath as you exhale through the temples, through the sides of the face, the front of the ears, into the jaw. Then maybe taking the next inhale and just noticing the crown of the head, behind the eyes, top of the head, the crown of the head, and then with the exhale, just gently notice behind the eyes, maybe that space underneath the eyes, maybe noticing the sinuses, maybe on the next inhale, if it would feel good, just breathing into the mouth through the nose, and then just taking a notice of the upper palate, seeing if you can just soften the upper palate. And on your exhale, just let the tongue gently drop from the roof of the mouth. Maybe letting the teeth and the lips slightly part, just softening and just feeling that gentleness, even in the sides of the neck or the top of the shoulders. Maybe when we take our next breath in through the sinuses, we'll bring that breath to the front and to the back of the ears, all the way to the back of the head, and then just soften that breath down the back of the neck, down the spine, to the tailbone, and just noticing If you can just ease in the shoulders slightly, maybe bring the shoulders up slightly and back. And just notice your posture here. We'll go ahead and take another breath in through the back of the head. Just noticing, feeling that breath rising to the back of the head and just landing up at the crown of the head. And as you soften, just softening that breath down through the neck, through the front and the top and the back of the shoulders. And just noticing the shoulder blades and the spine. Take a moment to just notice the shoulder blades. Notice the psoas muscles on either side of the spine. Notice the tailbone. Just feeling the glutes and the hamstrings, just feeling supported by the chair as the chair is supported by the earth. Taking a moment as you breathe in through the lungs, just lifting the shoulders once again. Let the breath just soften across the heart. Notice the space between the front of the shoulders, maybe reflecting on the collarbones. And then just getting in touch for a moment with the beat of your heart. Just feeling that gentle heartbeat, that unique rhythm that belongs to your heart. Take a moment maybe breathing into the belly and just expanding the belly and the rib cage and waist. Maybe feeling in that expansion in the back. Relax the tailbone and the glutes. Relax the hamstrings and the back of the knees. Just notice that energy just floating down behind the Achilles heel into the heel. Maybe taking the next breath in through the soles of the feet and just feeling that energy lifting up through the shins and the calves, lifting to the knees and just softening as the quads and the hamstrings sink back into the chair again, noticing that you're feeling supported by the earth. Maybe taking a breath in through the fingertips, breathing into the hands, the wrists, the front and the back of the elbow. Maybe breathing into the biceps and triceps. And just noticing as you exhale, the arms just gently soften. And the hands may feel a little more connected to the quads if they're there. Or if your hands are at the sides, the shoulders may just soften. So just taking a moment again to come back to the breath as you notice the body. Taking a moment now to set your intention for your practice. Making sure you're able to take whatever it is that you need, whether it's joy or gratitude, whether it's just feeling like you can move a little more easily through the day, whatever it is that you need, just making sure you're able to take that breath and just follow that intention throughout your day. So we'll go ahead and begin. Go ahead and bring the chin down toward the chest and just slowly feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Maybe bringing the arms down to the side of the body, relaxing the shoulders. Taking a nice inhale and then exhale as you bring the chin toward the right shoulder. Noticing the stretch in the left side of the neck. And maybe relaxing the left shoulder and then the right shoulder. Take a breath here. Float back to the center. And go ahead on your next exhale. Bring the shoulder towards the the chin toward the left shoulder. Just relaxing the right shoulder and then the left. Bringing the head back to the center. Go ahead and just lift up, lift the heart. Bring the fingers to point behind the body. Just get a nice opening across your heart. Take a breath here. And then go ahead, float the arms down to the sides. Feeling that rotation of the elbows and the wrists as you turn the palms out. Spread the fingers wide and just lift that energy up to surround the body. Bring the palms together and just float that energy down in front of the heart. And doing this 2 more times. Just inhaling as we lift, floating that energy up. Bring the palms together. Float the hands to the heart. And once more, inhaling as you lift that energy. Bring the palms together. Float the hands to the heart. Take a breath here. And we'll go ahead, bring the hands down to the sides. Coming to seated mountain pose. Take a breath. Go ahead and bring the palms to the quads. Sitting up nice and tall, go ahead, take a nice inhale. And exhale as you bring the right shoulder forward. Look over the left shoulder. Float up. And again, looking over the right shoulder, bring the left shoulder forward. And inhale up. Exhale with this gentle movement. Maybe noticing that little bit of a stretch in those muscles on the sides of the spine, the psoas muscles. Maybe feeling that in your outer obliques. Wherever you're feeling this, just coming into the pose as deeply or as softly as you find comfortable. And then one more round. It's always kind of nice to know in the cueing when you're going to be close to stopping, so you can just soften and maybe luxuriate in the pose a little longer. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that energy up again, spreading the fingers wide, lifting the arms, reach up tall, take an inhale and exhale to the right, feeling that beautiful stretch in the left ribs, just noticing the length of your body from the fingertips, clear down to the hips. And coming up, take a breath, and then floating down to the left. Again, just feeling that lengthening in the right side of the body. Feel that lengthening underneath the arm, clear to the fingertips. And then coming up, bring the fingers to interlace, and go ahead, turn the palms to face up, reach up tall. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Just look over the eyebrows, just noticing if you can get a slight back bend. And float to the center, bring the palms together, float the hands to the heart. Just notice your breath. Go ahead, coming back to seated mountain pose. Just coming back to your center. We'll go ahead, bring the top of the hands, the palms of the hands to the thighs again. And we're going to come into some cat-cow. So cat-cow is a wonderful pose for lengthening the spine. It's a wonderful pose for noticing the midline of your body and just opening the heart on your cow pose and just rounding and luxuriating, noticing that space between your shoulders in your cat pose. So go ahead, we'll take a nice deep inhale. And then we'll exhale as we round the spine, tuck the chin, just notice. And on the inhale, coming up, looking up at the sky, exhaling as you round, and inhaling as you rise, opening the heart, noticing the space in the front of the body. And twice more as we round the spine on our exhale, lifting on our inhale. Coming down, making that last pose maybe a little longer, a little more luxurious. Inhaling as you come up, exhaling to the center. Take a breath. We're going to come to a pose that I learned at my yoga teacher training called bobblehead, and it's kind of a fun pose. It's a pose that you don't really think about your movement throughout the day. Here you're looking to your right, looking to your left, whatever. But as you move through your day, you're using your muscles in your neck, you're using the muscles in your shoulders, and to really have control of those muscles is actually kind of interesting. I was surprised. I was like, well, gosh, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and try that. And just sitting up nice and tall, just thinking about the neck. I'll take my scarf off to the side here. Just thinking about your neck and your movement. Go ahead and just move the face forward like an inch, and back to the center, and back again, to the center, forward an inch or two, to the center, and back, once more to the center, once more forward, back, back, to the center, easy peasy. We'll go ahead and do that by moving side to side. So go ahead and move the right ear to the right, just an inch or so. Come back, and then come to the left. Come back, come to the right, come back, to the left, come back, to the right, come back, to the left, come back. One more time, to the right, come back, to the left, come back. And so just noticing that it actually did take a little bit of focus in the body to think about if you were moving to the left or to the right. So what we want to do now is put it all together and then add a little bit of our own movement, a little bit of animation. As you picture the bobblehead that's in the car in front of you in the back going, around like that, we're going to slow it down. And you're going to really be able to notice the movement in the neck. So just sitting up nice and tall, come to the breath and just bring the ear to the right and the head around and the ear to the left and back. And just find your own movement within this pose, your own creativity in how you want to move your head, because there's no right or wrong. What we're doing is we're just noticing muscles in the neck and feeling that you really have to notice that control. Maybe even noticing the muscles in the bottom of the neck. Noticing definitely the muscles from the top of the neck down to the sides. And come to the center and take a breath. We're going to go ahead and then do the same similar thing with our shoulders. And one thing about shoulder rolls, don't go any deeper than you feel comfortable. You can go really deep, you can add the arms, but I'm just going to show you basically having control in the shoulders, making little movements, and then making bigger movements and freeing up maybe the muscles, maybe freeing up a little bit of that fluid that flows around the joints. So we'll go ahead and we'll just sit up nice and tall, and then just bring the shoulders just like an inch forward to the center, an inch back to the center, and forward and to the center, and back to the center, once more forward to the center, and back and to the center. Take a breath and just feel that gentle breath coming back to you. You're not really focusing on anything, just enjoying. And then we'll go ahead and we'll go from side to side. So just bringing the shoulders over to the right, a little, come back, and to the left, a little, come back. You may even hardly feel like you're moving, but just noticing, maybe noticing how the palm of the hand is engaged to the thigh. Maybe noticing the arms moving. Maybe noticing the shoulder blades. Maybe feeling this movement across your heart. Just once more to the right, to the center, to the left, and to the center. Take a breath, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing forward and back. So we'll go ahead, just come forward an inch or two, come back, and back an inch or two, to the center, and forward, and to the center, and back, and to the center, forward, to the center, back, to the center, twice more forward, to the center, back, and to the center, forward, to the center, back, to the center. Take a breath. Notice your shoulder blades just go up, relaxing. And it feels really nice. The arms are soft. Everything is feeling like it's getting this muscle memory of noticing your movement. So go ahead now, bring the arms down to the side and just sit up really nice and tall. And just maybe bringing the head back slightly, just noticing if you're grounded into the chair. And then go ahead and just roll the shoulders with a little exaggeration forward. Just getting that movement as you're feeling that opening in the shoulder blades, maybe even feeling like you're using those muscles in the neck. Maybe feeling the motion as the hands go through the air. One more time. Take a breath, come back to the center. And just notice if you're grounding comfortably. Notice how the feet are feeling. And then we'll go ahead and go the opposite direction, just rolling the shoulders with that little exaggeration back. Just feeling that across the heart. Feeling that as the shoulders squeeze together. Just having that wonderful movement. And then go ahead, come back to the center. Take a breath. We'll go ahead and just warm up in the legs a little bit. So you might want to come and sit a little bit more forward in your chair. And the reason I do this is because I have short legs. So if another thing you could do is just use some blocks underneath your feet, lifting your feet up a little. So whatever works for you. So we'll go ahead and we'll just begin. We'll do marching, and we're going to march with the breath, which is actually a little bit trickier than just marching. So we'll go ahead and lift the right leg on the inhale. Exhale as you lower. Inhale left. Exhale left. And just with your own breath, just inhaling and exhaling. Noticing the engagement with your quads. Noticing the engagement to your feet on the floor. If you've got shoes on, you hopefully have shoes that are wide and comfortable, so you can actually feel the whole foot as it comes down to the floor. We'll do this 2 more times on each side, just breathing and just noticing. And then take a breath and go ahead and give your legs some love. Give the quads some love, maybe the hips, maybe down at the knees, getting a little bit of movement in the shins, getting a little bit of blood flowing in the calves. Just wherever you are, just feeling the body, just getting some movement. And then we'll go ahead and we'll come back up to the hips, and we'll do one of my favorite poses, which is called ice cream cone. And I am totally stealing this from a wonderful teacher at my yoga teacher training. And she does this. It's an interesting pose because it gets you really involved with the side waist, gets you involved with the hips, gets you involved with your core. So if you can really notice as you sit up tall, having the hands, the palms of the hands on the thighs, just noticing your spine and thinking about the tailbone just fitting inside the cone of an ice cream cone. So, and we are going to be just on the end of the inside of that ice cream cone as we move. And you'll just notice different ways that the body reacts. It may feel tight, one side may flow more smoothly, so it doesn't matter how good you are at the pose, because it's just a wonderful pose to just notice movement. So everybody wins. Everybody's perfect. So sitting up nice and tall, just think about bringing the whole body over to the right, noticing how much control that takes. Coming forward and to the left, and just coming inside that ice cream cone. Just feeling like the body is just moving gently around and around in the ice cream cone, but you're able to really notice the control in your abdomen. You're able to notice the control in the waist, noticing how long your spine is. Take a breath here and float to the center. Relax the arms and just notice. And then we'll go ahead and we'll come the other direction, which is just kind of an interesting way to do both sides, but you'll really notice that one side is a little more easily doing the pose than the other. So bringing the head back, just float to the left slightly and forward and to the right. And just around in the pose, just feeling that movement. Just feeling that control in the body. And just one more time around. And then back to the center, just noticing how you're feeling. We'll go ahead and inhale, reaching up. Exhale as the palms come together to the heart. Once more, inhale, reaching up. Exhale as the palms come together to the heart. Take a breath and bring the elbows out. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale and then exhale as you twist to the right, getting that movement in the side waist. Take a breath, float to the center, and then go ahead and twist to the left. And then coming back to the center, come to seated mountain pose. Come back to the breath. Let's go ahead and check in with our breath. And so we're going to go ahead with the palms on the thighs and just inhale and exhale. Noticing if that breath is a little easier. And just taking a couple more breaths as you begin to feel the air as you come up and bringing that energy down to your legs. Just noticing here. We'll go ahead and bring the feet out in front. And you know, if you're going to go barefoot, you maybe want to have clean feet. Sometimes in the summer when you're gardening, it doesn't work out so well, but just for the most part. And just go ahead and flex and point the feet. Just get that movement in the top of the feet and the soles of the feet. And then go ahead, turning the ankles and coming back. And then go ahead, bring the right leg down. Take a breath. And on the next exhale, bring the left foot down and the right foot up. And just doing this with your breath. Getting some movement, noticing the front of the shins. Noticing the quads. And then next time you bring the left foot up, bring the right foot up, bring the hands up. Take an inhale, sit up really nice and tall, and then exhale as you let it come forward. And think about doing this in the same rhythm. Keeping it with your breath. It seems like one side of the body always wants to come up a little more quickly. For me, it's my hands. Just noticing that control. And then next time everything comes up, take a breath and just bring the left foot and the right fingers forward. Just noticing how that feels. Noticing how we're using both sides of the brain. And it's just kind of fun. I do it all the time, so it took me a while to get to be able to do it at about the same rate of speed. Take a breath. And then go ahead, left fingers, right toes. And again, noticing how it takes a little bit of focus to keep them at the same speed. Okay, everything's up. Bring everything down. Take a breath. We'll go ahead and we'll do a little bit of our shoulder stretching as we come forward, sitting up nice and tall, bringing the right shoulder forward, looking over the left, coming back, and then just noticing. This feeling of the stretch is a little easier. Back to the center, and we're going to do one more where we're integrating the brain. It's really fun. So bringing the fingers in front, just interlacing the fingers. And as you want to do this, think about maybe making the out breath a little longer when we change. Making the out breath a little bit longer is really calming, and so it's really nice to think about when you're doing something that feels a little unnatural to be able to come to a little bit longer breath, engaging the parasympathetic nervous system. We don't need to run from this silly activity. We just need to enjoy it and breathe because it's a little different. So again, interlacing the fingers. Take a nice inhale, and with a little longer exhale, switch to the different thumb on the top. And inhale to the natural thumb on top. Exhale long and gently as the opposite thumb comes up. Twice more, inhaling. A little longer with the exhale as you switch. Inhale naturally. A little longer with the exhale as you switch. And bring the arms down to the side. With that little bit of exaggeration, just roll the shoulders forward. Just feeling that movement. Noticing your breath. Feeling that space between the shoulder blades and the top of the shoulder. And then come to the center, take a breath, and roll the shoulders back. Feeling that heart opening. Noticing the shoulder blades coming closer together. Just noticing how you're feeling. And then come back to the center. Take a breath, and we'll go ahead and come back to our cat-cow. Just take a nice inhale and exhale to your cat. Oh, feeling that luxurious lengthening of the spine. Inhale to your cow pose. Exhale to your cat. Inhale to the cow. Once more, exhaling to cat. And then pressing up. Take a breath. I have a visitor that would like to come in. It's my dog, Addie. She frequently joins us doing our yoga practice. So she just likes to have a little bit of love and a little attention. Come here. Come on. No, the yoga floor. It's a little slick. So we'll go ahead. We'll just take a moment to notice the breath once